came time to step up to play, I would end up lost or sometimes late. Still I thought that I was made in a laboratory. These are all your thoughts, they're sitting in some storage on a shelf inside your mind. They are so foreign. You can pull them down and piece them out. You've a unique mind, I have no doubt. Still you're cold inside because you've kicked the door in. You seem to talk a lot, I hardly even noticed. With an open mouth, it must be hard to focus. And you must be blind or looking down, 'cause it's stuff I've been in all around. It seems you're more concerned with just how big your nose is. All I'm saying is that while you've been complaining, I've been searing like a star up in our sky. You remind me of myself, of course we all could use some help. We were young and the future seems so bright. Thoughts of fortune, aspirations are so common, and people talk about what they want oh so often. Sometimes we hit the ground but don't make a sound. Every life is different all around, but I bet we'll all look the same when we're laying in our coffin. I said we'll all look the same when laying in our coffin.
Welcome to the Meeting Underground. We appreciate you joining us today. Our special guest is Jude Quinn, songwriter, music producer, and we thank you for joining us. So Jude, tell me a little bit about the song we just heard.
The song that we just heard is called Laying in a Coffin, and it's a song that I wrote about a year ago. It's a kind of a more fresh song, and it's a folk song I wrote kind of with the vein of just like trying to tell people that maybe you aren't what you think you are. You know, maybe things aren't what you think they are. You should take a closer look at what's going on.
Great song.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Really
it kind of goes back. It's kind of deep-seated roots of like folk music.
Yeah.
Very heavily influenced by Bob Dylan. So
I used to play all my gigs with the harmonica, and I had a whole set of Americana-ish kind of stuff and blues-oriented stuff. I used to play it all the time, but I haven't played it in a long time, and I don't hear it that often in my circles. So it was really cool. I saw Jude at a showcase about 2 weeks ago, and he really struck me. I really like his music. I like his attitude and his presence and his performance. So I went up and asked him to do the show, and this is how we ended up here. So
yes.
Tell me a little bit about how would you? Okay, I know that you consider you're probably multi-genre influenced and output. Tell me a little bit about that. Describe your music as a whole in that sort of way.
Okay, so you're right. I have tons of influences. My output of music seems to be multi-genre. I like to be a jack of all trades somewhat, especially with my songwriting. I like to be able to say that I can do this and do that. I think it's just really impressive to people. Yeah, I love music.
Yeah.
I can't get away from it. It's just in me. I've got to like get it out.
Right.
And sometimes I'll be feeling like a folk song when I wake up, and sometimes before I'm going to bed, I gotta hear some hip hop or some EDM or something. It spans just so many different genres and influences that I can't really help but put out all this different music.
Yeah. One of the purposes of this, or one of our stated ideas for this show is it's just get at the heart of each of the artists that are in the area here, and about their process and then what inspires them and stuff. You're originally from Pasadena.
Yes.
Tell me a little about that, about your family, anything that you know you would want to share about that, and how long you took, how you ended up in Nashville.
Okay, so my background pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much background.
So I was born in Pasadena, California, and my family moved our family out here in year 2000 when I was like 7 years old. Just like wasn't a great place to grow up in LA, so family brought us out here.
So you came to Nashville when you were that young?
Yeah, I was very young.
Were you in Nashville or around the area?
Goulitsville, so in the surrounding area, but
Greater Nashville.
Exactly. And when we moved here, we were living in this like crappy apartment at first, and we were moving into we were moving some things into storage, and we came across my dad's guitar that he hadn't played in a while, and I was like, "Dad, what's this?" And we popped it open, and the strings were all busted and stuff like that. It was all dusty, but we dusted it off, and we got new strings on it, and he gave it to me, and that sparked everything. I started teaching myself.
What did your dad do? What did your folks do as far as their background stuff? Anybody in the arts and stuff like your dad?
Not really. No, my dad's just a businessman. I actually work for him. My day job doing concrete construction.
Oh.
He owns like a small concrete construction business, and that's kind of what he's done for a long time. He's kind of a jack of all trades too. He's done anything.
But he had a guitar at some point.
Yeah, he had it since he was 18, which makes this guitar that I still own like older than me.
What kind of guitar is it?
It's just
just an old school.
I was hoping there would be kind of one around.
Harmony?
It's like it's a Yamaha classical.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And it's an Allen string guitar, and rumor has it that it could be one of the guitars that was made in the factory that burned down.
Oh, wow.
I heard something about that. Somebody told
me. And you still have the guitar? Do you use it in gigs?
I don't use it because it's too quiet.
Yeah.
I had to get something
do you use it for writing or anything like that?
I haven't pulled it out in a while, honestly.
Yeah.
I just I have a lot of gear now because I've invested in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
I really honestly I look at it in my closet all the time, and I'm like, I need to pull that out and like put new strings on it and just play it just for the sake of like this is what I have it tattooed on me.
Great treasure, you know.
Yeah.
Good story, good background. I love guitars with great stories behind them.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your writing process. How do you approach writing? How do you make yourself available for writing? Any of that? What is your personal approach to it, or does it just come and happen and chance by time at times?
To be honest, there's not necessarily a certain like formula for my writing or anything. Most of the time, it's just like random sparks of inspiration, and I'll sit down and something will come about, whether it's a lyric or a guitar melody or a riff or something, and that kind of just builds on it until it's a song. Sometimes.
So it could be either lyric, it could be a chord progression, it could be a little riff, a hook, and then you just pursue it.
Yeah. Usually, though, I'll say. Usually some sort of inspiration will spark, and then I'll sit down with my guitar and I'll try to map out like what I'm hearing in my head, and it usually comes straight out on the guitar, or at least like something close to it, and then I have to find exactly what I want to be playing. A lot of my songs have been written that way, where it started on guitar, and then I would sit on it for a while after it was kind of like a fully composed guitar piece.
Yeah.
And sit on it for a while, and then come to it again one day after I've had some time to think about what I want to say with this song. Every song has a different mood, a different feeling.
We talked, some of the early episodes, we talked about the issue of inspiration and being prepared to give attention to it and not let those things slip by you.
Yes.
Because to me, as an older, I've been writing since I was pretty young.
Yeah.
But the thing I've learned to value, and I've heard many successful writers say the same thing, is you have to make yourself available. And inspiration comes along, you need to give attention to it, because how many ideas are lost?
So many.
By the end of the day.
Yes, exactly. That's
so
why.
so that's really the heart, the workshop of the artist and the writer is to give yourself to those things when they happen.
Yes.
You don't you can sort of schedule inspiration, but in a way you can't.
Yes.
It comes. You better pay attention to it. That's kind of the hard level of the artist and what we do.
Yes, what really helps all of that and being inspired and writing quality stuff is
What's
writing every day.
Yes.
Whether it's actually sitting down and writing, composing music, like an instrumental, or writing in a journal, I try to write at least 10 or 15 minutes a day, because
Good idea.
when I finally hit that inspiration, I want to be in full. I want to give myself all of the arsenal that I can to make a badass song whenever inspiration strikes, rather than here's my inspiration, but I haven't written anything in like 2 years or 2 months or whatever, so I'm a little rusty. You know.
Yeah. Give me. Let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
You picked up the guitar. You began doing that. You're in Nashville. What were the early things when you began playing guitar? Who were the early influences? Things that people, bands, artists that really struck you, kind of inspired you, and kind of helped you along, move forward in developing who you did or become?
Well,
just some of the early influences you had.
Honestly, before I even picked up my first instrument, guitar, when I was 7, sounds like somebody's calling me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are being invaded. Ignore that sound. Go ahead.
So, before I even picked up a guitar or anything, I was really inspired by the music on the radio in California, which at the time was
pop, rock, country,
rock and roll. All day it was rock and roll. It was Red Hot Chili Peppers, Green Day,
Blink-182,
those types.
Yes.
And Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. That was really what my ears were picking up back in that day. But it obviously, you find more artists. I kind of not grew away, but I ventured forth into different kinds of music really early on, like more underground types of music.
Mm-hmm. Name a band.
Refused is the first one that comes to mind. That was like a
couple of them.
System of a Down really struck my attention we're talking like 8th grade. This was like 2007 or something, like 2007 for me, I think, like that.
Yeah.
So back then I thought I was this alternative punk guy, and was dressing really funky, and I don't care, F everything, and like sitting at the back of the bus, and all I would do is bring my CD player with me, and I would bring a folder of CDs with me and just listen to music all day at school, when on the bus, and when any chance I got, I was writing in my journal. I would blow off class to sit there and write.
How long before you formed a band or became a part of a band?
First band that I was in was when I was 13.
And that was here.
Well, you know what? Yeah, the first band we put guys together purposely for a band and named ourselves kind of situation was when I was 13 in 6th grade. We got together.
Do you want to give us a name?
Yes,
Go
I do
ahead.
actually. Go ahead. Called the Why Bothers.
Oh, that's great.
I thought it was a great name.
That's a great
I got
name.
so much crap for it back then, but
no, that's great.
Thank you.
Tell the background music.
We played.
Jude and the Why Bothers are doing a show tonight.
No, please no. Dude, okay, so we played. It was all my music.
Yeah. So you're the main writer. So
I've always been the writer.
You've been groomed in that for a while. Then you've been writing for a while.
Any group I've ever been in, I've been the front.
So you started writing pretty early teen. Very early.
I was writing and booking myself when I was 13.
Wow, industrious.
Dude, I was on it, man. I wish I could be as on it as I was when I was 15 now, honestly.
Yeah. I have some friends I had a guy that was a good friend of mine. His name's Dave, and he came to town here to do showcases and was almost assigned in the country stuff. But he's from California. When he's a kid, he's 15 years old. He's on Star Search. He had 3 bands, one covers, one country, one pop, and he played on the docks at where he was living. And it's like he made more money when he was a kid than most musicians make now. So,
yeah, that's impressive.
But it was cool. And it's really cool to see that and be able to do it. So, what about releases, music you put out? You put out a single earlier this year.
Yes.
Tell us the name of that and explain that a little bit.
So that song's called Borderlines, and I've written the song a while back, probably about 4 years ago now, and it was one of those like really heavy sparks of inspiration where I sat down with this idea for a song, and 20 minutes later it was there.
Right.
The melody,
cool.
The lyrics, everything. And
I love it when that happens.
That's some of
Doesn't
like the best
happen.
writing sometimes when it just like really just flows like that. It doesn't always work like that, but
Nope.
it ended up being a great song.
Yeah.
It took me so long to get it recorded, and I got an opportunity to record for free at MTSU for like a student project, and I worked with this woman named Vali, and she's incredible. She did a really, really fantastic job. I'm super impressed with like the players who are on it, and I'm really impressed by how well we did. And since then, I've done several other free recording situations with like the schools around here, like Dark Horse Institute was one. Belmont, we recorded our new single that's coming out the 25th of October called Shakers and Fakers.
I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have that's coming out. So your other single is out, and that's available everywhere. You can find it. iTunes, Jude Quinn.
Yes, Jude Quinn in iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, all the major ones.
And the first one is Borderlines.
Yeah.
And then the new one is
Shakers and Fakers.
Shakers and Fakers coming out this month. You need to look for that. So where can people find you?
I like to direct
other than
people.
What is your social media spot? .com.
My handle is the Quintessential Jude. Or Jude Quinn. In most places, it's the Quintessential Jude. I like to direct people to my Facebook and my Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at the Quintessential Jude.
And Facebook.
You can find exactly. Or I'm Jude Quinn Music on Facebook.
Okay.
And I like to direct people to my Spotify. I'm trying to boost that up for sure.
Cool. We'll put that information on screen here when we do the editing. Tell us a little bit about the song. I've already heard it, folks. Tell us a little bit about the second song. The name of the song is?
The Formula.
The Formula. When I saw him do his showcase, my Johnny and I, everybody that watches knows who he is. We saw him perform, and the last song he did, I think it was the last song, and I had already stopped recording.
Oh, dang.
So I went, damn, I wish I would have recorded that.
Yeah.
So Jude's going to play that for us. We're going to close out the show with that. I'll let you introduce it first. I want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking time to listen, taking time to support. We're on the Facebook. We're on Facebook at Stage 2 Records is our Facebook page. The YouTube at The Meeting Underground. And if you go there and you're watching it on YouTube, you can look into the notes and you can click and you can go right over to the podcast. We got it's audio version or video version, and we really appreciate your support. Listen again. Look through our catalog. We're starting to get a few new shows in, and hope you enjoy them. And give us some comments on that sort of thing. So we're going to close this out. I'm going to let Jude introduce the song, and we'll see you next time.
So the song is called The Formula. And it was written about 2 years ago. The reason we call it The Formula is because lots of different people kind of put in different ideas, small ideas, and I kind of like took all these small ideas and kind of fused them together and gave them a bed to sit in, and for lack of a better name, it just became The Formula. It's kind of an eerie, possessive, sexy,
a little jazzy style, a little funky thing in there.
It's very. Really, I like to think of it similar to "All Mine" by Portishead.
It's like a film noir song or something.
Yeah. Check out All Mine. You'll understand
Yeah.
when you hit the chorus in All Mine. All mine, you have to be.
Yeah.
It's like just so sexy
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
possessive.
yeah.
It's kind of the
That's-
mood that I wanted to capture with the chorus
You did great.
in the formula.
Good
So
song.
you'll see once you hear it.
So here's Jude. Here's the song.
Thank you guys. So tell me, did you come alone? And where is it that you are coming from? Did you want to spend the night together? I will hold your hand in any weather, just as long as you come with me. So baby, won't you come with me and you will see. I'll get your heart racing fast as a motor car so suddenly. Then I will crash you at the slash into the boulevard, and we'll be like this forever. You'll stay with me forever, darling. You will be mine forever. Wait and see. You're gonna be with me, unless of course you change your mind on me. You leave me in a panic, basically. I wanna be your favorite poison, and I'll make sure you enjoy it. Just let me in, girl, I will set you free. You're gonna be with